Hello everyone, welcome to Crazy Geeks and it's me Roshan Shrestha. In today's session we'll be talking about what is list in Python, why they are needed, how they are used, how they are created and so on. So basically the agenda for today's session is going to be revolving around the concept of list and its implementation in Python programming language. Lists are one of the coolest topic available in Python. It's among one of the inbuilt data type in the domain of Python. So why lists are needed? Whenever we're working in any project or we're trying to build any application, then obviously we'll be required to handle multiple information using same variable. That is the point where list fits in. Let's say we are supposed to handle these information, these numeric values. Then one of the option could be using single variable for all of these informations by creating object of integer type, something like a equals 1, b equals 2 and so on, but obviously this is going to be much tough task. So the concept of handling the collection or handling the multiple values using the same variable uh, comes into action, and that is the concept related with list. In order to represent any list, we'll be using big bracket or square bracket. Let's begin by creating one empty list. Let's name it our list equals blank. Now let's try to print the value of our list, which should be blank, obviously. Okay, nice. Now let's verify the type of our list in order to verify how our system is treating this particular variable. This is treated as object of class list. Awesome. Now our blank list is ready. One way of creating the blank or empty list will be using this particular way of big bracket, and one will be using constructor list. This will do the exact same thing. Now let's populate our list with these values. Let's say 1, 2, 55 and 22 and 2 are the values of list. We need to separate it using comma. Okay, nice. In this case, our list is able to handle the integer entities, which implies integer data type is legally handled by list. In the meantime, one interesting stuff is happening here. 1 and 1, 2 and 2. These are duplicate values, which implies list without any problem entertains the duplicate values. That is, duplication is totally allowed and is valid in case of list. Let's try to create another list using some floating point values like 2.2, 5.5, 1.1, 2.2, 22.5 and so on. This is also handled, so it entertains floating point values as well. Now let's try to populate the list with some strings. This is string in test with what list, list with list. Okay, now this also totally allowed. Nice. Now let's try to create another list with the different data types like boolean, string, then let's say some integer entity, then some floating point values. True is 3. True is 333 2.2 with list. I don't know totally valid. So it implies our list is capable of handling collection of different data types is for our requirement. How awesome is that? And one of the feature we earlier looked at while playing around with our first list was duplication is totally entertained. Okay, nice. Now another attribute of list is indexing is possible. Indexing means our first element always begins from the zeroth index. So let's try by printing our list zeroth index. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, nice. Zeroth index implies first element. Now let's try to access another value. At second index 0, 1, 2, 55 should be generated as an output. Cool. 55. So indexing is possible in case of list. Duplication is allowed. Indexing is possible. Uh, and for those people who are coming from another programming language background, you can relate this concept with concept of array as well, which is not exactly same, but indexing is handled in similar fashion. And for those who haven't into another programming language, you don't need to worry about arrays for now. You can just watch out for this concept. First element always begins from zeroth index. Second element, first index, and so on. That is how these stuff's handled. On the feature of list is we are able to update or change the value of the list, which implies that lists are mutable. Mutable means something whose value could be changed. You can put it in blunt way in this way. That is something that could be changed. Okay, now let's look for the index. Our list first index value is 2. Let's try to update it to 99. And if we print this particular list, then wow, first index, that is our second element, in this case is being updated to 99, which means that lists are mutable. That is, we can change the information residing inside the list. In the meantime, one another attribute could be viewed in this case, that is lists are ordered. That is, these information which are stored in some order are not altered by the list itself. That is, it remains same. Now this might lead some of you towards another question, that is there going to be some entity that will be changing the order by itself? Yeah, there is some entity that which is totally capable of uh, changing or shuffling the order in which the data is presented, but list is not among them. Long story short, the features or attribute of lists are it's capable to handle various data types. It handles the collection. It's ordered. That is, it do not shuffle the information by itself. They are mutable. You can change the value of the list. And duplication is totally allowed in case of list. These are the attributes that will be needed to implement by the programmer, that is by us. And we can look for some of the interesting methods that are available in our list. I will be coming to those concepts in our upcoming videos, but for now let's try to play around with some of them. Now let's try to print our list dot sort. What will happen is the name implies sort function will be sorting our particular list, but what we are getting at this point, we are getting none. Why this happened? It must have something to do with the identity of the sort function in itself. Let's try to face the documentation. Sort the list in ascending order and it return none. I don't know whether returning from makes some sense at this point or not, but what we can acknowledge at this point is it will return none, implying that at this point it's not returning the expected value. If we are to print the sorted list, then what we need to do is our list dot sort at this point, then we'll be normally printing our list 1 1 2 2 22 and 55. Okay, nice. And let's say we need to reverse this list, then what we can do is we have to tell the system that reverse has to be true. And nice, this one was in ascending order and this one is in descending order. Okay guys, this is it for now. I'll be catching you guys in next video with some more concepts and ideas related with list. Thank you everyone for your time. Have a nice time.